Golden State Warriors lost. And obviously everyone's going to start asking, is it time to blow up the team? I don't think so. I think the whole thing is just like, it's just got to be cheaper. Like, Klay, obviously the contract can't be as big. I think Draymond's a good deal because, like, look, their rebounding and their front court defense was solid. I think they've solved their front court issue with Trace Jackson Davis, Draymond Green, Kevon Looney, and then they also have Jonathan Kuminga to go as like another power forward. And if they keep Dario Saric, because I think Saric will either stay with the Warriors unless he gets paid to go to a different team or he'll go back to Europe. But I think their front court is fine. And the way Wiggins closed out the year, and same thing with Kuminga, you'd think that they solved their wing position. And if they can get Klay Thompson on a deal that's paying him like $15 million a year, I think that's fine. And I agree that the Warriors were smart not to go out and at the trade deadline and trade Kuminga or one of their guys for Pascal Siakam or Bruce Brown. I mean, the only guy that I think that I wish they could have gotten was OG Anunoby, because I really like OG and I think he would have been awesome. But at the same time, I don't know necessarily how he would fit in the rotation if they were able. And like, they still have Chris Paul, who's going to be a great trade chip if they want to use him, or if they want to cut him and go after somebody, or like and rework their finances and go after someone in free agency. Because the free agents, if we look at the market and taking off the guys that we assume are either going to stay with their team or they're just going to be out of their realm of possibility for the Warriors, those are the Tyrese Maxey, the Paul George, the LeBron James. We assume Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, James Harden. I mean, James Harden, depending on how the whole Clippers thing could turn out, I just don't know if the Warriors would want that, because they don't want to play Harden ball. DeMar DeRozan is still a guy who drops tough buckets and like the greatest mid-range shooter of all time, and his game has aged well. He doesn't provide much defense, but playmaking stuff. There's not a superstar. That's what I'm saying. Tobias Harris is the next guy. Miles Bridges. I don't know if California wants him back in the States. They don't need front court. So Emmanuel Quickley, D'Angelo Russell, I don't think they want to bring him back. Malik Monk. There's maybe Bruce Brown if his team option doesn't get picked up. Like, Klay Thompson is a guy that I think at this point, he made $43 million this year. Let's cut that by 28, and that's cool. I'm cool paying him that. The whole thing is Buddy Hield made 19 this year, and I would say Buddy Hield and Klay Thompson aren't that far apart. The only thing is Klay's probably a better rebounder and a better defender still than Buddy, but Buddy might be a better passer. Now, I think they could, stretch out the money and bring in maybe guys like Tyus Jones and Gordon Hayward or Sadiq Bey. And that's the other thing. I think they might have to get younger, because they either have to get younger or go fully back into, because they forget, like, those Warrior teams that were good had hella vets. So two things either have to happen. They go out and spend a bunch of money and get guys like Contavious Caldwell-Pope and guys like Gordon Hayward and maybe a guy like, I don't even know, like a Kelly Olynyk. They don't need front court help. So like, this is where I just get, it's just hard to look at this Warrior squad and say that you can go out and free in the trades with the whole tax apron stuff. It's not easy to go out and make a move. Okay. The whole thing is they need another second star. They're not going to trade for Trae Young. Maybe DeJounte Murray is the guy that you try to trade for, but I don't know if he's like the one worth it. It kind of sucks that like James Wiseman didn't pan out, nor is he on the roster, because I guess he didn't have any trade value, but like if they had traded him earlier, maybe they could have gotten something. This is a team that went 46-36. They had the 8th best offense. Like I think their offense is fine, and like I don't know. And I like B-Pod. I think Moses Moody needs more minutes as they gave him at the end of the season. I think the whole thing is they just need a legit... I think Miles Bridges is the only free agent that really could be like the bargain. Oh my God, like you're going to get him cheaper than he actually is worth because of, you know, the past issues. So for me, that's the whole thing. I'm just, it's definitely an interesting one when we look at it because I don't know the right answer. I don't know how we go about it, and if I was a betting man, I think the best thing for them is to hopefully look for a team that's going to blow up. I mean, if Cade Cunningham becomes available, that's the type of guy that you trade for, right? You trade for a Cade Cunningham. You trade for I'm trying to think else, like, who's a team that like might be forced to trade one of their young dudes. I mean, I don't think Kyle Kuzma is going to be solving anything, nor is Denny Avdia or Corey Kispert. I mean, Corey Kispert is the type of guy you would trade for, and Denny Avdia would be like, those two dudes would be a guy that you would, if Klay Thompson gets overpaid and then you're trying to shed salary, I would say those are two dudes that you would package salary that you might be, you know, wanting to move off of, and or try to go get younger dudes at the position. Because the whole thing is they need guys. They need to kind of reset this roster, and there's either two ways to do this. You go get another star and you get a bunch of defense around him, or you go out and you build a really good like core. And salary they might want to shed is Gary Payton II and Kevon Looney. So if you package those two, that's $17 million. Andrew Wiggins is another guy. Also Chris Paul. Chris Paul's non-guaranteed. You could just go ahead and hopefully, yeah, like I think that's a really, like, I actually like the idea of like Kevon Looney and Mr. Gary Payton for like Corey Kispert and Denny Avdia. The whole thing, then you would have to get like a third center. I think that'd be fine. I mean, go out and get like a Jacques Landale. I just think there are ways to fix this.